Diamonds! So today I figured it might be an interesting idea to show you guys Minecraft, which, yeah, you guys have all seen before, but it's been a while since I've actually played Minecraft the vanilla way. You see, a while back I got into something known as Feed the Beast, which originated as a sort of skyblock map, where the goal of the map was you had this skyblock that you started on, and you had to work from there with a very small set of things to get you started to work towards various goals. But what made it interesting was that you were working with a whole bunch of mods all interacting together. So your goals tied into those mods. It eventually spawned all these different mod packs and everything. And rather than being a skyblock sort of thing, it became just, playing with a whole bunch of mods installed all at once. Like, if I go into... Oh no, that doesn't work. Actually, I think I have to go back to the title. It's going to say way down in the corner, once it goes back to the title, 157 mods loaded. Yeah. You may think that having that many mods going would be a little ridiculous, but believe it or not, it actually creates quite an interesting dynamic. And you got these different mod packs that have different quantities of mods or different kinds of mods in play. The pack I'm playing right now is called the Dark Trilogy. I don't know why the Dark Trilogy, but the word trilogy is implying in the three different sort of categories of mods that they're using, like nature mods, magic mods, and tech mods. And those of you familiar with the tech mods can probably see that's what I got started with. Actually, let's go inside there. I'd actually been thinking of doing Minecraft videos for a while, specifically with these mods and everything, but it takes a lot of time to do this sort of video, and I ended up doing this blog instead. But I figured I'd better talk about Minecraft sooner or later. I've only been playing it since beta, so this is an example of some of the mods going on right now. These are Industrial Craft 2 machines. So right here we have something called a macerator, which converts ores into a sort of crushed ore. The idea being that you're doubling your ore output by using something like this. But Industrial Craft 2 also adds different levels of processing, so I can take this crushed ore and then throw it through an ore washing plant to sort of purify it and get little pieces of ore in the process, which I can then refine into more ore. And then you can even go one step further with the purified crushed ore in a thermal centrifuge to get you even more little pieces of stuff. And then you just cook it in an electric furnace, and there you go, ingots. And it's more than just ore processing. Like, I have a canning machine down here specifically for making fuel rods for uranium, because if we go into the basement here, way in the back, I have a nuclear reactor. It's not a very elaborate one. This is actually a really basic 60 EU a tick design, but hey, it works for just a single chamber. Well, technically 3 chambers. Well, you get what I mean. Sort of. Basically, IC2 allows you to do a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm also keeping it from running when it doesn't need to through a combination of nuclear control, which is sort of an add-on to Industrial Craft 2, which is allowing me to monitor the temperature inside the reactor. So this can shut the reactor off if it actually starts to overheat for whatever reason. This is a stable design, so this should never happen, but I'm also using blue power with a NOT gate and an AND gate, and the NOT gate is reading whether or not the energy storage device up here, the MFE, is full of power or not. And when it is, it trips the NOT gate and the AND gate and shuts the reactor off so that I'm not producing power that I can't store. And if that sounds overly complicated, just look at this thing I've got going over here. Because, Industrial Craft is just one mod, and it produces a sort of power unit called EU. But other mods have their own power units. Specifically, Thermal Expansion, which I've got some machines for over here, use something called Redstone Flux, which is short form for RF. EU doesn't become RF by default. So what I had to do was create this convoluted system here with... there's actually a comparator in there and some redstone, and I got a redstone torch there. Electrical engines from forestry, some piping from buildcraft. Basically, it's my method of converting EU into RF without really losing any power beyond what I should be losing. And this is what allows me to power all this stuff over here. And I got a couple of machines here from Ender.io so that I can make... Oh, I got some... I didn't even know I had that in there. So that I can make stuff with that, and... Yeah, if it seems a bit overwhelming, like, I mean, this is all normal to me. And that's because I've been playing with large numbers of mods for a couple of years now. And this shaft just goes down into my mining area. Oh yeah, and I have a jetpack. Because jetpacks are cool. Up here on the roof here, I also have some solar panels. And this is another add-on for IC2 called Compact Solar Arrays. Because normally IC2 only provides a type of solar panel that just provides 1 EU a tick. And having like massive numbers of solar panels can bog down a server. So each one of these low voltage solar arrays is the equivalent of 8 solar panels. So rather than having 32 solar panels, I only have 4 low voltage solar arrays. It is nice and handy for servers so that it doesn't overload them. Though some mods do change things up a bit. IC2 is normally not that difficult to get into, but because of the Dark Trilogy pack that I'm playing, some of the recipes have been changed a bit. Just to give you an example here, almost everything in IC2... Oh, by the way, this over here is a mod called Not Enough Items, also short form to NEI. The idea being you can scroll through all the different items in the game, which 169 pages worth here. And it makes it easy to look up recipes for things and everything. So if I wanted to know the recipe for, say, I don't know, let's say a golden apple. I just hit the R key on that and there I go. Or if I want to know what golden apples are used in, I just hit the U key and it tells me that these are the things I can use golden apples with. And I can actually get the gold back from them in an alloy furnace. How about that? I can even throw them into a smeltery and get molten gold. Oh, geez. That's actually a good lead-in, though, because one of the things that ends up happening... I got some generators here, but most IC2 stuff requires this basic machine casing. Normally it's made out of iron, but in this Dark Trilogy pack, it has to be done with refined iron or steel. And... they changed it up a bit here because steel and refined iron you basically need tech machines to get, or you have 2 other options. One of which requires you to go to the nether first, which I eventually did. My nether portal's way out there. But the other method is to go through Tinker's Construct, which is a very different mod from like the typical tech mods and everything. I'd almost classify this as a nature mod. This over here has nothing to do with it. This is just open blocks XP drain stuff, because it lets you store experience points as liquid, which is what I'm doing right now. That has nothing to do with Tinker's Construct. Tinker's Construct is basically a mod where you can put things together out of pieces. So you can actually have all these different patterns and you put it all together to make different items, like these ones at the side here. So if I wanted to make a pick, I'd actually need a head, a binding, and a handle. And you can make them out of different materials, and you get different benefits and everything from that. But if you wanted to use anything made of metal, you have to actually smelt it down into a liquid form, which, let me just grab something here just to demonstrate. Like, say if I wanted to make something out of iron. Let's grab those couple iron ingots, run back over, put it in, and actually this is going to take a moment. But basically this is going to melt down into a form that... Hang on. Whoops. Right here are casting basins used for making blocks, but I'm only going to be making ingots, so I was going to put a casting table down and an ingot cast. And the idea is that you can melt things down and cast them, and you can cast them back into ingots like what I'm going to do, but you can also cast them into different pieces for using to make your stuff. But Tinker's Construct has another add-on called Tinker's Steelworks, which has been added to this pack. And this is how you make steel without having to get into tech, or without having to go to the nether. Because making these scorched bricks to make this, I think it's referred to as a high oven. Yeah. To make this high oven is not really that much more complicated than getting into... Oh, there's the molten iron. Getting into the smelteries here, so... Basically the low-tech way of getting steel so that you can get into the tech mods in this pack. Let's get that iron out. And you can even use this smeltery to smelt different metals together to get different metals. For instance, one of the metals that are added by a lot of mods is bronze. But there's no bronze world gen. So if you want bronze, what you have to do is, let's see here. One way to do it is to break it down into dusts, and it's just 3 pieces of copper dust with 1 piece of tin dust. And that'll get you 4 pieces of bronze dust, which you can then smelt or do whatever. Or you can do it here in the smeltery, just add 3 pieces of copper, 1 piece of tin, and there you go. Though some mods make it easier to get bronze, like just by having to put the ingots together, you don't have to crush them into dusts or anything. The other thing these mods do is they also add a whole bunch of different fluids. Like, I mean, if I just go into, say, tanks, I can see all kinds of different fluids here, like liquid death, which is something from Thaumcraft, I believe. Let's see. Rye beer tank. I don't know what mod that's from. Cranberry wine. I think some of these are like, because there's a food-based mod in here that I've never used before, which I haven't even tried to get into yet. But yeah, all of these are liquids, which you can theoretically place into the world. Just like lava and water. One of the more common liquids that's added by, I think it's Buildcraft that adds it. And I know there's some off in the distance this way. So just jetpack over. At least I think there's some in the distance. Yep, there it is. That is a geyser of oil. So a common thing to do early game is to get a pump going to pump the oil from a geyser like this, and then refine it into fuel, which you can then use to get a whole bunch of power very easily early on. But I don't go that route very often. I like to go the solar route just because, I don't know. At least when I'm going with IC2. When I'm going with other mods at first, it depends. Oh yeah, and back here I've got a processing room for all the little tiny piles of material that get made from the IC2 stuff. So these are actually auto workbenches from Buildcraft. And the auto workbench, it's a very, very low-tech way to auto-craft things. And it's not very fast either, but then you don't make these tiny piles very fast either. So I figured it was the best way to do this. And then I'm also using this for when I'm doing the uranium enrichment for the nuclear power. Because this is actually a pretty intricate thing here. You actually get depleted rods at some point. You can make MOX fuel, and there's plutonium. You can also do radioisotope thermoelectric generators, which is like the kind of nuclear power that lasts forever but produces really small quantities of energy. That's crazy what these mods can add. And I've only scratched the surface here. Like, I mean, there's so much more. Oh yeah, this is my hazmat suit. Because right now I'm wearing diamond armor and a jetpack, and if I need to handle nuclear materials, just pop that on. As you can see from the armor icons in the corner down there, though, they're not exactly the greatest for protecting me. Plus, I don't have my jetpack that way. Oh yeah, and this process produces a whole bunch of stone dust here. By the way, this is a Better Barrel, which is from the Jabba mod, which I believe stands for Just Another Better Barrel mod. or actually I have no idea what Java stands for, but it's barrels. And barrels are an idea where instead of having a chest where it has 27 item slots, you have a barrel which just has one item slot, but can hold up to 64 stacks of that item. And these better barrels are designed so that you can actually upgrade them to hold even more stuff or have special features. And like you can have a hopping barrel that'll actually act like a hopper and a barrel at the same time. So it's actually pretty interesting what you can do with that stuff. And extra utilities is another mod in here that lets you do all kinds of crazy things. But one of the things it lets you do is it lets you compress certain raw materials down. So each one of these triple compressed cobblestones right here is equivalent to 729 cobblestone in a single item. And this actually gets pretty crazy. So you can get to quadruple compressed, and then quintuple, and then sextuple, septuple, and ultimately octuple, which is 43 million pieces of cobblestone in a single item. Which, by the way, you need to do if you want to get into extra utilities really crazy things. Because I believe extra utilities... I thought it used octuple for something. Am I missing it? Oh wait, there it is. You can smelt the blocks into blocks of bedrockium. But the normal way to get bedrockium, aside from the octuple compressed, is to actually use blocks of diamond. And this bedrockium stuff is like really powerful in terms of what you can do with it. Oh wow, that's not the normal recipe for magnum torches. Normally these are a lot easier to craft than that, so good to know. The magnum torch is an item added by extra utilities that keeps monsters away. It doesn't let them spawn within a really huge radius. Normally it's an expensive recipe, but it's not this expensive. So, interesting. I got some natural stuff in here. Some basic items in there. Actually, it just occurred to me, if anybody ever wondered what my Minecraft skin looks like, there I am. This has been the skin I made the skin myself, and I've been using it since forever. Put my stuff back on. Now, one thing I should mention is that I haven't really been playing Minecraft too much. I only just got started with this world recently. Previous packs I've played in the past have been the Infinity Pack, Direwolf 20 Pack. Direwolf 20 is a YouTuber who does daily videos with modded Minecraft, either on his own or on a server with other people. And if you want to learn more about modded Minecraft stuff, his channel is definitely one to check out. Especially since he likes to help people along with his videos. And then, in terms of my playing Minecraft, it's usually something I just go to when I'm bored. Or just need to relax for a bit. Because I don't find Minecraft very challenging anymore. I just find it as something that's like, sort of busy work. And I kind of prefer it that way. Because, like, I mean, one of the things that's always bothered me with Minecraft is just the sort of hardcore nature of everything. Like when you die, all of your items scatter around. In fact, this particular mod pack includes the ability to have all your items drop into graves markers when you die so that there's no chance of them despawning. So that's always a plus there. It's just like the game is designed to punish you severely when you die. And that's not why I play Minecraft. I play Minecraft to just sort of veg out and have fun. I mean, some people will criticize some people for not doing things hardcore ways and everything. And I'm like, screw that. I'm playing this game to have fun. I'll cheat if I need to. I'll be honest, I keep cheat mode off because I can actually turn that on if I really want to. And then I suddenly have the ability to like give myself a whole stack of compressed gravel if I want to. But I only ever turn cheat mode on when the game screws me over for some reason that was not my fault. Because I shouldn't have to redo things over again when I'm strapped for time as it is. just because of some stupid thing that wasn't even something that would have been normal. Like, I mean, if I put something down and it crashes the game and I suddenly lose that item, it's like, what? So yeah, I don't play Minecraft in a hardcore way at all. I play it just to have fun. And to that end, I've actually been working on moving my little base here. I've just finished this little railway here. Let's take a trip. You can actually see it. Yeah, here's another mod, Opus and Map Writer. It's actually moving while I'm on. Basically, this is a mapping mod. It makes getting around a heck of a lot easier. Oh, the sun's setting. I should probably head back once I get to the other end of this, but... Oh, and we're about to cross over here, which is there's sort of meteorite that crashed here in the World Gen. And that's from Applied Energistics. Applied Energistics being a mod that's all about storing items as data, so that you can store massive quantities of items in these sort of data networks and then have automatic crafting and everything. It's really cool, but it takes quite a bit of effort to get into. So I typically don't get into it until much later. And there's all kinds of nature stuff that's been added too. Like, one of the mods is forestry, and forestry adds this whole beekeeping system, which has like... It's so complex. It has so many features and genetics to it and everything, and there's like so many different kinds of bees you can get, and it's just crazy the amount of depth it has. Let's take a ride back. But this is where my next base is going to be, and I've already got the middle of it mapped out there, just because there's a nice flat area there. And yeah, I was sort of debating whether or not to do this video, just because of the fact that this world is still pretty new for me. I hadn't done a modded Minecraft video yet, simply because of the fact that I kept creating new worlds with new packs all the time, so I never really got too deep into them. So I figured it was about time. I have a blog that I can do this kind of stuff on. I don't have to plan ahead for anything. I just want to make a video, I'll make a video. It's that simple. But actually, one question I have for all of you guys watching, specifically, is what would you guys actually rather I do? Would you guys rather I continue doing the blog as I always have, like, well, as I always have, I haven't even had it that long, but would you guys prefer if I continue to do a blog where I just do random videos of whatever, or do you guys want me to start doing modded Minecraft videos? Because I could do that too, I just can't do both at the same time, because I'm strapped for time as it is, doing my secret project and working on ancient DOS games and everything, but I could certainly do Minecraft videos with all of these mods and stuff, if you guys would prefer me to do that over just random videos. So, you know, leave a comment or something, or send me an email, and I'll read the stuff and see what you guys think, and charge my jetpack. Hey, jetpacks need power. I really need to upgrade this to a better jetpack, but IC2 stuff gets expensive. And I've only touched on just a brief number of mods here. Like, I mean, just to look up some stuff here, one mod that I've gotten into a lot of in the past is Thaumcraft, which is a magic-based mod where you get like all these different kinds of wands and this whole mana manipulation system. There's this sort of infusion system in Thaumcraft that's just absolutely crazy. Just how neat it looks and how well it works and everything. There's this idea of taint, where things can get tainted and you can get flux, which affects how you perceive the world and everything. You got all these different foci that you can put on your wands to make them do different things. And everything in the world has sort of aspects to them. So it is a crazy, crazy mod that has so much in it. And then, what's another one? Oh, Botania. Botania is, at first glance, you'd think it would be a magic type mod, which it kind of is, but it's actually more of a nature mod, because it's based on all these different flowers that you find in the environment. which you can then mix together in a sort of petal apothecary with water and seeds to make new kinds of plants. And the plants all have different kinds of functions and everything, and there's this whole mana system. And eventually you can even create this sort of gateway to the elven world, which you can't pass through, unfortunately, but by sending items through the gateway, you get new items back so that you can create even more powerful things. This is a pretty crazy mod too, but it takes a huge time commitment to get anywhere powerful with it. So I typically don't get into it until later when I have a lot more resources to put into it. What's another one? I already talked about forestry. Just look at the mod list here. Big reactors is basically for making really huge multi-block reactors for generating RF power. Since I got an IC2 start in this, that's why I didn't get into that yet, but I've gotten into it in the past. Carpenter's blocks just basically lets you have like ramped blocks and stairs and stuff. You can make them out of any material in the game pretty much. Oh, chicken chunks. So let me show you guys something on the roof here. This is something so important to modded Minecraft. This is a chunk loader. The concept of the chunk loader, if you guys understand how Minecraft works internally, is that the world is divided into chunks, and I can actually bring up the chunk grid right here. So this chunk loader is keeping a 3-block radius, resulting in 25 chunks, 5x5 section. It's forcing those chunks to stay loaded at all times. And I have it set so that it's basically encompassing my entire area here. Chunk loading is really important when you're playing with mods, particularly because it allows your processing to keep going, even when you're not around. But more important than that, if you have... Oh, hang on. Let me go kill this creeper. Creeper's near my base, that's not cool. Back here. Die! I wasn't worried about that. The weapon I have right here is like... Which I can't see because I got this... This weapon can 2-hit pretty much anything. So... Gotta love Tinker's Construct for that. But yeah, in terms of the chunk loading here, what's more important than just keeping the chunks loaded is making sure that the chunks don't get separated. So like, I mean... If I bring up the chunk boundaries again, you'll see there's a chunk boundary right here. So... If the IC2 machines that were on this side of the chunk are loaded, but not these ones, my energy... Oh, and there's even another separation way over there. So yeah, now this is getting pretty intense here, because this is where all my power is stored. This MFE right here. And there's a chunk separation right there. So if this chunk is not loaded, but this one is, none of these machines get power. So that's another good reason to have chunk loading going on, is so that you don't get chunks that are reliant upon each other split loaded like that. Let's just go take a quick look through the mod list again. Computer craft is pretty interesting. I've never gotten into it, but basically it adds programming to Minecraft, so you can make computer programs that do things. It's pretty powerful what it can do, but Ender storage is cool. Basically, so this whole color-coded Ender chest and Ender tank system, tanks for liquids, and even pouches, so that you can access these from your inventory. It's a pretty cool thing there. That's another one that's good to mention. Logistics pipes is another one for sorting items specifically. Basically, it just lets you take Buildcraft's piping system and turn it into a sort of sorting mechanics. It's not bad. I've used it before. Mine Factory Reloaded is another tech mod all about automation and everything. Yeah, it's the very brief description for what is a really complex mod, but it's also based... It's called Mine Factory Reloaded because it's sort of based on the concept of making this whole factory type system with it. Basically, it's all for production purposes. Natura just adds a whole bunch of nature type stuff. Pam's Harvestcraft, that's the food-based mod that I haven't really looked into yet, but it adds all kinds of different food items. So, yeah, look at that. Deluxe cheeseburgers. That's not something you can make with vanilla Minecraft. Railcraft changes up the whole rail mechanics. Makes it a little more interesting, in a sense. Soul Shards, it's not in a complete state, I don't think, in this mod pack. Like, I mean, I'm running version 1.0.8 of this mod pack simply because there's issues with crashing in the more recent versions. At least at the time of putting this out, which the most recent version is 1.1.1. But as it stands, I don't think Soul Shard's working completely yet in this mod pack. Steve's Carts is pretty cool. It basically lets you custom make minecarts with all these neat little features and everything. And already talked about Thaumcraft. Twilight Forest is another mod that a lot of people enjoy because it basically adds this whole new dimension that with all these different kinds of structures and materials and bosses and everything. It's pretty cool if you like exploring new places and don't like sort of cutting through the world and everything. And Wireless Redstone is pretty cool too. Wireless Redstone basically lets you transmit redstone signals from one spot to another wirelessly. Makes sense, right? So, I don't think there's much else to say. So as I said, leave a comment, let me know if you guys want rather me continue the blog series or start doing Minecraft videos. Because I can do either. But I can't do both because I have too many other things to do. So let me know what you guys would prefer, and I will do that. And other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video, seeing Minecraft in a different light. If you've never played with all kinds of different mods before, I would say check it out. Like, I mean, I'll give a link to Direwolf20's channel in the video description, just because he's the guy to look to if you want to learn more about modded Minecraft. I mean, he's a pretty popular guy, gets a lot of views, but he has so many videos up, and he does these mod spotlights as well, where he goes through the mods and just disseminates them to every little piece. His stuff is just really good to watch if you want to get into this. And for those of you who find Minecraft boring nowadays, check out mods, because modding made Minecraft interesting for me again. Anywho, that's all to say, so see you guys in the next video.